Well, hello everyone. This is not the video I thought I would be filming today. It is Wednesday, May 3rd. Yesterday, I got a phone call while I was on dialysis that there was a potential kidney, and I was the backup for it. The donor, I guess, had some kind of cardiac event. It was on life support, which I've been in that position where my dad, he didn't have a cardiac event. He had an aneurysm as a result of PKD, and we had to make the decision to take him off life support, but we also decided to donate whatever we could. We wound up not being able to donate anything because his system had deteriorated so badly, but we had done that. So my heart is with the family of this person. I look a hot mess, P.S., because it's like a video diary, I guess, kind of giving you my in the moment feelings. So there's a kidney, and I am the backup, meaning that there is somebody ahead of me who's the primary potential recipient for this kidney. One thing that they have to do in order to know whether or not the organ is going to match is they have to do something that's called a cross match. To do blood work every month and send labs to the transplant people. And part of that is so that they can check my antibody levels, but also part of that is to have a blood sample in order to do a cross match, should it be needed. And what they do is they mix your blood with the blood of the donor to see if my cells attack the donor cells, because that is an indication of whether or not the kidney would be rejected really quickly. So they have to wait on that for one. And then they also need to figure out what the timeline is for taking the donor off of life support, because in situations like this, when there's somebody who is on life support, they're basically dead. They're just being kept alive by machines. If they are going to be able to donate more than one organ, then they have to make sure to line everything up. It's basically like a very delicate process in order to make sure that everything is, all the ducks are in a row, and that I have to keep moving my arm. Anyway, all the ducks are in a row, and it's taking longer than they anticipated originally. Originally, they had told me that I would be hearing back from them last night between 8 and 10 p.m. I got the call around 10 a.m. They said to expect a call between 8 and 10. I got that call right about 10 o'clock. And they said that they were just updating me that it was taking longer than they expected. They were still hammering everything out, and that I should expect a call today somewhere before noon, and then potentially would have to go to the hospital in the evening, whether or not I was the primary. I may have to go to the hospital anyway because they need to have the secondary recipient ready in case something doesn't work for the primary, to make sure that everything nothing gets wasted, right? Like if you think about somebody who passed away and was being able, their family, or they had decided to donate their organs, that you want to make sure that sloppiness doesn't prohibit that from happening. Like if you have somebody who's willing to give the gift of life, let's make the best use of it, right? Well, it is currently 10:36, so I am sitting here. I should be working right now, but I'm not, because I cannot. If you want to know how I'm feeling, this is like an emotional roller coaster. Focusing is damn near impossible. My stomach is really upset. I have been trying not to throw up all morning. It's worse this morning than it was yesterday. Yesterday was bad. This morning has been worse. What do I think the likelihood of me getting this kidney is? Probably not high, because I'm the backup. And it's entirely possible to get a bunch of backup calls before you get a primary call. But this is my first call, and I wasn't expecting it yet. So that in and of itself makes me feel really good, but that doesn't change the fact that I am basically a big ball of nerves, literally trying not to puke. So part of me thinks I should just pack my bag. The other part of me, from what they said, it would likely be if I was going to be going to the hospital will likely be this evening. So I have time, and packing my bag almost seems like I would be jinxing it. I don't know. I'll check back in. Okay, it's literally 10:47. Very shortly after I hung up with you, stopped recording. I got the phone call that my cross match came back good, which means there was no reaction. So that's awesome. However, I'm still back up, and they think that the donor will be going in for surgery at, to get the organs around 5:30 tonight. And I should hear back before 10 p.m. whether or not I need to go into the hospital because I'm going to be getting the kidney. Because we live so close, they may not need me to go in unless I'm going to be for sure getting it. So, fuck. It's 1:20. I'm at the mall. I'm running a couple errands. No update. Don't feel like I'm going to puke anymore. But I'm still super anxious. I just thought I would update you. Another update, 7:15. Still have not heard back yet. I'm pretty much convinced I will not be getting this kidney, which is fine. I am just excited that I'm far enough along on the list that I would even be getting a backup call. But I'm going to keep checking in with you once we have determined that one way or the other. I'll give you kind of my thoughts on how this has been so far. I'm currently making taco bowls for dinner, just doing the chipotle lime rice from Chipotle Dupe and making some taco meat and serving it with all the fixins and doing laundry. It has been an extremely unproductive day for me, which is fine. I can't imagine anyone would fault me for like being basically useless. I did recycle my Nespresso pots though and picked up my hold from the library. It's the next day, it's Thursday, and I'm waiting to pick up RJ. I just haven't had the chance to check in yet. Last night we got our final call from the transplant center after 10. I was just too tired to pick up my camera at that point, but we did not get, I did not get the kidney. What wound up happening was that the donor only had one usable kidney, the other one had atrophied, and of that kidney, the kidney and the liver went to someone else, which is great because I know that double organ transplants can be even harder than to get than like what I'm waiting for. So I am officially still on the list, and yeah, we did dialysis this morning, which is why I didn't pick up the camera yet. I thought I would take a couple minutes to kind of round this video out with my thoughts and my feelings on the whole process. So for one, let's just get it right out of the way. Yeah, I'm bummed I didn't get a kidney, but I'm also fine with it because I wasn't expecting to get one right now anyway. It was a pleasant surprise to know that I have progressed on the list far enough to even be called as a backup. You know, the list is not like a static list. It's not like there's one list to rule them all and they keep crossing people off the top and then adding people to the bottom. And it's like on a fucking paper towel roll. No. Every time an organ becomes available, a new list is produced, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. What comes in terms of waiting time is the longer you've waited, the more that weighs in your favor when it comes to producing one of these lists. So for me, my factors are A, I've been on the list now for 4 years. B, I'm on dialysis now. Dialysis time also counts. I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure. It's kind of some secrecy around how they do it. There's actually a whole thing going on in the government now in terms of potentially changing how this is done. But this is based on right now. Dialysis time, if you're on dialysis, that weighs into it. If you're a pediatric patient, which I am not, that weighs into it. And then for me, my blood type is O positive, which is the most common blood type, but is also the only blood type. It can only take O kidneys. Other kidneys like A positive, AB, whatever, can take O kidneys. O types can only take O kidneys. So that makes it a little harder. And then I also am, they check for your antibodies, which have to do, I don't know what all goes into antibodies. I know that one major factor is pregnancy, as I have been pregnant. my antibodies are higher, which makes me a harder match. Anyway, so it's not like your waiting time directly correlates. Like if you wait X years, you will get a kidney. It doesn't work like that. But you can have an idea of where, if like based on where you are, how long it usually takes for your blood type to get a kidney. And when I got here, I was told in San Francisco, my blood type was 10 years plus. Here, my type is 4 to 6 years. And I'm at the 4-year mark, so I should have not been surprised, but I was. The other reason I'm not super bummed, I am, like I said, I am bummed. I'm not going to lie to you. I am a little bummed, but I'm not as bummed as I thought I might be in this situation. And another big piece of that is that I am not utterly miserable. I did not wait for hella days to start dialysis. As soon as I hit kidney failure, like full-blown kidney failure this past year, we decided to go for it because of how tired I was. But like my sister waited until she was absolutely sick. And so even by the time she got her transplant from my brother-in-law, she was still so sick, even though she had been on dialysis for 6 weeks. I've been on dialysis longer than that, and I feel a lot better than she felt. Not better than she feels now with a transplant, but better. So I am not so, and I haven't been on dialysis that long. I've only been on dialysis for a few months. And so I am not in that place of despair that some people get to because of how sick they are and because of how long they've had to like be on dialysis. Because dialysis isn't fun. But I'm still in kind of the honeymoon phase where like it's still a process to figure out. I'm still stressed out and irritated a lot of the time. But the feeling better makes up for some of that. So I think for me, the best part of this experience, besides finding out that this is even something that is, you know, something that is possible right now. The other aspect of it that I'm really grateful for, and Jess as well, we talked about this, is the kind of the dry run of it, right? And from what I have been told by some of you and by others that I follow in the transplant, the dialysis communities, is that it's entirely possible to have multiple of these dry runs before you actually get one, whether you're not the primary, you're the backup, or whether they're calling you in, but then something happens, like it's not viable or something like that. So it was nice to kind of go through the process and sort of see what it was like. It's a reminder to be a little bit more prepared than we were. Like maybe have at least some of my bag ready, because this time I had many hours to wait. Sometimes you have no hours to wait. My grandma had no hours to wait. My grandma had to rush in. So, and she's Russian, or she was Russian. So that was fun to say. Anyway, so there is that. And I'm coming out of this experience feeling a lot more positive just in general. But the negative, aside from not getting the kidney, the negative is how hard my life got derailed. Now they say, go about your normal routine. Who the fuck can go about their normal routine when they are on edge about whether or not they might get a life-saving fucking transplant and they're just waiting? How do you go about your normal routine? I did not. I got zero work done for the past, I got called on dialysis on Tuesday morning, got zero work done on Tuesday, got zero work done on Wednesday, and now today's Thursday and I'm getting very little work done today purely because I am so emotionally exhausted. It is a fucking roller coaster. So that's the big thing to both kind of sit with, but also to prepare for, to understand that the next time this happens, I may be repeating this entire process. RJ's about to get here, so I'm going to sign off. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for all your well wishes if you were following along on Instagram or on Patreon. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, friends, peace.